is Rachel. I'm going to be your educator today. So if you have any questions, please ask me. I'm going to get us out of this heat. So we're going to take
it's getting warm out.
The second floor of our ship. Would you guys prefer the elevator or the stairs?
I think the elevator going upstairs, going down.
I think an elevator. An elevator would be great? Okay.
Yeah, we take the elevator.
You're not 59. You look so much younger.
He is 59. He just turned 59.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
All right. He was born 1960.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Well, you look good.
Yeah.
So what's my activity sign up for next month?
All right.
Okay, so while we're waiting for our elevator to come back, you guys take a big step closer to me, and I'll give you a little bit of an introduction to our ship. How many of you guys have been here before? Show your hands. Oh my God, you guys are having a first time. Okay.
Willow?
I have heard great things about Willow. I think she's here for my time. But I'm so excited that you guys are experts because it's going to be a lot of fun. So we were a World War II aircraft carrier, and then we ended up working through Vietnam to War. Today we're going to be looking at different types of transportation that happened on the ship itself, but also several airplanes, and maybe even the space shuttle if we have time. We'll definitely look at one thing that went to space. Do you guys have it? It takes so short of a time to get to space. It's amazing. And it like blows my mind every time I hear about it. Exactly.
Because of the controlled explosion at the bottom.
Come gather right up here near me. Let's get as close as possible to the case behind me. So right now we are looking at a model of the Intrepid as it looked in 1942 when it was built. So 1 week before the United States entered World War II, we began construction on the ship, and they built it in about a year and a half, which is really, really fast for a ship of this size. But it has a really special job. I know you guys have been here before, and you probably know way more than I do at this point. But does anyone remember what job our ship had?
Besides serving our country and keeping it safe.
Yeah, so it served our country, it would keep our government officials safe. What else would it do? It's carrying something that's really interesting, and I have a model that we can touch that also is pretty cool as well. There's some cool stuff on the top here. Yeah, it would carry airplanes. So here are airplanes right here. So we call a ship that carries airplanes an aircraft carrier. Make sure everyone gets a chance to touch it. It's pretty cool. Does anyone else want a chance to touch it? You want to touch it, Ivan? Yeah, so when we were on the, you're all good. When you were on this ship, you would not have been on this ship alone, because to get all of these airplanes off of the ship, it worked like a floating airport, you would need a lot of help. So in addition to about 75 to 100 planes, you also had 3,000 people serving on board the ship at any given time. That's a lot of people. And all those people had really different jobs, like mechanics. You needed mechanics to fix the ship and the planes. You needed pilots to fly the planes. You needed a barber. You had dentists. Like you had a whole city and doctors. Exactly.
The soldiers need medical care first when they start summer war.
Exactly. So
they want to know they were in top physical shape.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. In top physical shape to serve on the ship. So before we start out, I'm going to show you guys one of my absolute favorite planes in a minute. But I wanted you guys to get a chance to look at this model and tell me if there's anything interesting that you see on it.
From what you have in your hand, it has these two towers.
Yeah, it has 2 towers. So this model has satellites on it that my model doesn't. So this ship would also be collecting information from radios and from different communication devices all over the world, different satellites.
And the battery
that's for emergency only.
The what?
The emergency.
Yeah, there are also guns on the side of the ship to protect it from other enemies that might be firing upon it. What else is interesting? Anything else?
It had like, when we got on, had 2 anchors at the front of the ship.
Yes, we're actually going to look at where those anchors would have been worked on. That's one of my favorite parts of the ship.
And then what I find interesting, the planes.
Yeah, what do you find interesting about the planes?
Yeah, people flying all up and
They gotta take off one by one, otherwise
Yeah.
out of time before there'll be another war against the enemy soldiers.
Exactly. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how our planes would take off when we go up to the flight deck, which is the runway you see on the top of the plane. Right now we're in the middle of the ship right here. This is called the hangar deck.
Yeah.
This is where mechanics would have been working on the ship, on the planes. Engineers would have been working on the planes, and it kind of acted like a garage for them. So when they weren't going on a mission, most of them would be in here at any given point in time. So you fit 75 to 100 planes in here. It's a lot of planes.
So now I know why they call it the hangar deck, because I would say people come here to hang out.
They would come here to hang out. I like that. I've never heard that before. Okay, I'm using that.
It's a phrase.
I like that. I like that joke. No, I know it's a phrase, but I've never heard it about our hangar deck. I like that a lot. Our planes would hang out, or people would hang out.
It comes to the hangar deck to hang out, but not actually hang out.
I got you. I got you. So on that note about planes, I'm going to bring you to one of the planes that would have flown off of the ship in World War II. So we're going to walk further down this way. Make a semicircle around me so that you can see everything evenly. So that would be great. Right? I love. That's a great observation. Okay, my friends, just fill in over here a little bit more so you can all see. Awesome.
That's a really interesting area.
It is. Yeah, so this is an Avenger. It's a World War II airplane, and it had a really interesting job. And I want to see if we can figure out what it is. So I'm going to invite you guys to look all around this plane. I also have a model in my hand if you guys would prefer to touch it or explore it on a smaller scale. And just yell out any observations that you might have of it.
Normally I would say call it an airstrike.
An airstrike?
But
You
in
can touch
case,
it.
but in case the bomb bay doors is having malfunction to open, you gotta open it manually.
Ooh, I like that. So maybe you would have to open those doors manually if they weren't working correctly. Maybe it would be used for airstrikes. Does anyone else want to touch this model? I got one. It's a nice model, right? Now let's just it's small. It doesn't take up unlike this baby. It takes up a lot of space. Yeah, it looks like the airplane that Captain America flew. I like to joke that it's called the Avenger after Captain America. It's not true. I wish it was.
But I see one of those
He
planes
would have
for Japanese attack.
Yeah, so these were
1941.
exactly. So 1941. This is a plane that a lot of people would have been flying in the United States Navy and Air Force. Are there any other observations that people are making about this plane? So we know that the doors might have to open to work during airstrikes. What else might be happening on this plane?
The only problem is that it only carries one warhead at a time.
So maybe it only carries one warhead on time. That's true. So it's carrying a torpedo in the bottom. This actually would have been used to strike down submarines or other aircraft carriers or other ships in the water. How many people do you think this plane would carry? Show me on your hand so I can see everything. How many people would this plane carry? 3, 2,
I take a
you think 4? I like that.
I said 100.
100? I like the confidence. Okay, also 4. Awesome. So you say 5. I like 5. So this plane would actually carry 3 people, and they had 3 different jobs. So the pilot would be sitting in the cockpit, which is the very top of the plane, where you see that glass right up here, okay? So the pilot would be sitting in the front. You would also have a radio man. He would be sitting in the belly of the plane right over here. And his entire job is to communicate with base and tell the pilot where he's going. Without that radio man, pilot's gonna be lost for a long time. The third guy has an even more important job than the pilot or the radio man. He is the gunner. His job is to sit in the back of this plane in this little sphere that we call a gun turret. and to make sure that the plane is safe from enemy aircraft. So it's a very, from any enemy aircraft, any fire that's going on onto the plane, and to protect them during their mission. Because when you were flying a plane that was dropping a torpedo, because torpedoes are so heavy, you would have to fly extremely slow and close to your target. And I don't know about you, but if I am attacking someone, I don't want to be slow and close to them. I would like to be fast and far away.
But how high would you have to be?
I'm not sure on the exact height because it would depend on the target. Because if you were dropping this on a submarine, you would probably have to go right over the water. But if you were dropping it on a ship, you could go above the ship. That's a good question. I'm going to look that up. So there are a lot of different jobs happening in this plane and a lot of collaboration happening in this plane. Anyone have any other observations about it before I bring up some more objects?
Cover the back of the wings and peel backwards for storage.
Awesome, excellent. Yeah, these wheels, wow, it's been a long day. These wings fold backwards for storage. So if you are on this ship and you have 100 Avengers that you need to put in storage, your wings are going to be a detriment because for every one Avenger that has its wings out, you can fit 2 more on either side. So to save space, they made wings that could fold back and create more storage on ships just like this. Okay? Sure.
Suppose there is a malfunction of wiring and other mechanical problems being fixed when they took it off.
That would depend on what time of the war you were in.
Right.
By the end of the war, so these planes were actually called turkeys. They were nicknamed turkeys because they were so clumsy when they would fly. And people really didn't want to fly in them. Especially towards the end of the war, it was very hard to keep up with the demand for new parts and new materials to fix them. So often people were flying in a more dangerous condition than they would be otherwise. But during the beginning of the war, they probably would have been taken off sooner and changed to different ships. Yeah, like you would have to do a system check. You would still do a system check, but sometimes even if it wasn't up to code, you would fly anyway. Yeah.
But that would mean you're flying blind into a battle.
It might mean that you're flying blind into a battle.
You don't go into battle without a sword.
No, you would hope so, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out that way for a pilot.
Exactly.
But I want to introduce you. So we're talking about some dangers that pilots may have seen in battle, may have experienced. I want to introduce you to some tools that they had to keep themselves safe. So if you guys are flying in a plane, like this one, you may have noticed that its colors are kind of interesting. It's what we call counter-shaded, which means it has 2 colors, one darker on the top and one lighter on the bottom, and that helps it camouflage in 2 different environments. If you are a plane flying over my Avenger, you're going to look down and be like, hey, that's the water because the top is blue. But if you are a ship moving under the Avenger, you're going to look at the bottom and hey, look, those are clouds in the sky. So it's going to be able to acclimate to a lot of different environments, okay? And that's going to come in handy when you're flying over water. So if you were flying over some water, and we know now that these planes weren't always great, what do you think you might want to bring with you? If you're going on water. Food, I want food.
Life raft.
Life rafts. What else? You have food, life rafts.
Ammunition.
Ammunition? I would hope so. What about for your body?
Do we have the balloon boat?
So what? I don't have one of those. I wish I did. Oxygen, maybe you'd want to bring oxygen. Yeah, so in their emergency kits, they actually always had M&Ms. That's why M&Ms were made, so that soldiers could have chocolate because the candy wouldn't make it out. Chocolate candy give you energy. And bouillon cubes, so you could have soup in the middle of the ocean. But a lot of our pilots would also bring life jackets. That's what we call over. So this is a World War II life jacket that's called a Mae West. And it's a very interesting life jacket. It's really different than life jackets that we use today, mostly because it's made out of canvas and it has this rubber tube on the side. So if you were going to use this life jacket, you would go to the side and pull on these air canisters. That would help it expand to keep you afloat. But then if those ran out, you would top it off by blowing into this straw. Does anyone want to get a chance to try this on or touch it? It's nice, right?
So you have to blow it
You want to try it on? How's that feel? It's a little heavy. A lot of people tell me it feels heavy when I put it on. But I think it's soft, so I'm going to give someone else a chance. Thank you for being my model.
Yeah, I like it.
It's soft, right? Can I try it on?
Yeah.
That's what fairly heavy.
I wish I could try it on.
It's interesting. If anyone else wants to try it on, you can make a line right here and I can keep you guys in order.
Can I try it on? Wait, can you hold this for me?
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Do you want to try it on? Oh, great.
Hey, guys, I'm waiting for the life jacket. If I'm going to float on it, it's going to hold up like a balloon.
That's right, it is like a balloon. That's a balloon. I've never used that analogy.
As you can see, this got tubes on it. You can blow it here, blow it as much as you pump the air into this balloon. And the life jacket is going to be much super cool. And you guys are going to love this. Have you enjoyed?
Hey, my friends, does anyone else want to try it on? You're going to try? Awesome. So we're going to head. You want to try it? Sure.
Ooh, it is heavy.
It's heavy, right? So I like that you still think it's heavy because sometimes when I do it to a group at the end, people are like, this isn't that heavy because everyone else said it was so heavy.
It's nice.
It's nice. It's soft.
Soft.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind wearing it for a while. I think it might be less comfortable when it's full of air, but I haven't experienced that yet. Here, I can help you. Got it. Tight.
It is really tight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is everyone else good?
we're good.
Fantastic. We're going to head to another part of our ship. We're actually going to go to the very front of the ship to a room called the forecastle. Okay?
We're
going to be going up a flight of stairs. Is that okay with everyone?
That'd be great.
Yeah?
Okay, if it's not too wide.
Here we are.
I don't like that feeling.
Oh, look at that. That's sleepy time.
Okay, we're going to head over here.
We on the forecastle. It's the
Let our other guests in.
That's beds.
Wow.
and keep right on. Yeah. Here you guys go.
Okay, guys. Is everybody up here?
Raise your hand if you're here.
Awesome.
Could be too many mosquitoes.
Awesome. Okay.
Right.
We are going to go into a special room that's in the very front of the ship called the forecastle, and we're going to go into the anchor chain room. But our door has a step in it, so I just want to make sure that everyone knows to step over the step, because otherwise you can fall and knock your knees, which is not fun. That's why they call it a knee knocker. Okay?
There'd be too many mosquitoes, Kelsey, too.
I like that. I think that's how what I call every single step I do. I call it that. Is the name of a spider. Okay, guys, we're going to gather up right on over here.
Can I sit down?
You can sit down for a minute. I'm going to give you guys instructions about exploring in a second once everyone's through and can hear me.
And here we are.
Awesome. Do you guys have any questions so far?
This is the anchoring crew.
This is the anchor chain room. It's a pretty cool room. So let's wait for everyone to come through and then I'll tell you guys what we're doing.
Let go the anchor in this.
Yeah, so the anchor would never come in here and go out. But so this room is a really interesting room. It's also really cool because it's the only part of the museum where we can touch everything. Okay? So I want you guys to take a minute or two to walk around and make some observations about things that you find interesting. And then we'll come back together and I'll give you some more information.
What's a chain called?
I think it's just called a chain. One cool fact is that every single link weighs 120 pounds.
Okay, like Fleetwood Mac, you will never break the chain.
That
You
looks
won't have to break
kind
the chain.
And what's with the wheeler?
They have to move the brakes.
And how do we climb this one? On the barrel or on the grid?
Moving?
And here's a lot. If I could, well, I could climb that in here. Hey, hang on. I'm being much anyway. And we get you guys for this one. There's the water waves over. We're on the boat here, and the grids of the windows on it, the lid, and look at all the roof over like a bunk bed. Let me just climb back down. I'm almost slipping over here, but hang on for a bit. Right back down here, and we're at the middle of the chain.
This is a big chain.
It is a big change.
Must be hard for this to break.
These guys say they have to improve these chains.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you were from Sprout, I just want to hear some observations that you guys may have made of the space that we're in. Anything interesting that you found?
Yeah, the cartoon reference to the paint.
Yeah, we have a lot of artwork in here. All the artwork
That it looks like a bunk bed.
made by sailors
Yeah.
during their time on the ship. A lot of sailors would paint or make art on the ship because it would remind them of home. It's also something you'll see on planes. A lot of them have different logos on them. We call that squadron art, and it was a way of like waving to your friends in the air if you couldn't like see their faces, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
Normally the soldiers would sing this drum song, Show Me the Way to Go Home.
There was a lot of singing about home and about war on the ship. That's really interesting. So this room would have been manned all the time because this room would have been used by sailors to pull the chain up from the bottom of the ocean or to put the chain back into the ocean. Sure.
It requires 24-hour maintenance.
24-hour maintenance, because when these chains that are attached to the anchor go into the ocean, they come back and they're covered up with sand and seaweed and sludge, and it's going to clog up the ship and the different engines. If that gets
If the ship clogs up, they won't move.
then they can't move and they can't lower their anchor again, and then what are we going to do in the middle of the ocean? Then we're in trouble.
They need 24
Make sure
hour
the
maintenance.
chains will stay together.
Get rid of that dust and dirt on the anchors.
Phenomenal. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Like, I could not imagine cleaning these things off all the time. So this is a picture of the anchor as it would have looked in World War II.
Yeah.
So it's really big. Sure.
Yeah. It looks kind of fairly dirty.
It does look dirty. I think it's seen some action at this point. This guy is probably about to get in a lot of trouble for taking this picture too. He probably shouldn't be up there.
Yeah.
And this is what our anchor chain room would have looked like. I think this was during the Vietnam War, because before the Vietnam War, we did not have walls in here. So this would have been completely open to the elements and to the ocean. It's really cool.
And
once they put the walls in
That's fine.
in the 1960s, they also used this space as a chapel. So you would come here for religious services, and if you came here for a religious service, you got off of work for the whole day. So a lot of people got really religious.
and
really
what's on the
fast.
rope on the left shoulder?
Yeah, so they're using that rope. So do you see the rope that we have in the front of the ship over
we see
here?
the rope.
So that rope is mooring rope. It ties our ship to the pier. So even though you have your anchor in the ocean, your ship can kind of move a little bit based off the waves, based off wind. Those are going to keep you like squarely secured. I think that's what they're holding in here. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about this room before we head up to the flight deck?
I understand that pretty good.
Awesome. I'm glad. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to head out this other door over here.
Over here?
This one is simple.
Let's head for the next one.
Oh yeah. I think I get close to hitting my head every day. It keeps it exciting.
You want to make sure to walk slowly.
Oh,
This one.
awesome.
Yeah, so this was for bang your head.
Gotcha. So we're passing an area where our sailors would have been sleeping. Okay, and when you guys are done taking a look, in about 15 seconds,
15?
we're going to come walk right on over here.
Oh, we just gotta hurry.
Be over here.
We don't want to miss this one because there is a desk, a drawers, like a bookshelf,
Chain manual. We're going to see anchor chain manual.
hoses like here, aids in there, first aid.
Okay, so this entire area would have been different places where people were sleeping. Where we are right now actually would have just been where officers and pilots slept.
Are those bunk bed?
Those are bunk beds. So that room, that was originally a room before we tore down the wall to make it into an exhibit, and it was called Triple Six because it was room 111, which looks like 3 sticks lined up together. And we know a lot about the people who lived in that room because they wrote a really extensive diary. So we have a lot of their memories.
A diary?
Yeah, you can. We have a lot of it online too.
Oh,
okay, my
okay.
friends, we're gonna come right up over here and gather.
That's a triple six log.
Interesting. This is for you guys. You can stop and look at what
Triple six is April 1967 in Norfolk, Virginia. That's the triple six.
Really? Yeah, that's cool.
Then you can see I see about the bookshelves, the desktops, and drawers. Even the bunk bed. Oh, air conditioner too. And right next to the map. Next to the map. There's another one in the bedroom. We're almost there. Here, and we're coming right through.
We're gonna walk right through this.
Ah, there's more down hanging to this,
There's so
right?
many cool things to see in here.
That is small, eh?
Is it okay back there?
A triple bunk
Okay, we
bed.
have 2 knee knockers, 2 of those doors with steps in it that we're going to look out for. I'm standing on one right now, and there's going to be one right before the door that brings us outside, okay?
All right, James, watch your step.
And just slow down. We don't want too fast.
We're going to watch your step, guys.
Oh, it's got shades here and
We're not going to get a chance to hang out with them, so I want to make sure that we get to see our space shuttle before our program ends. Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, we're going to head right up these stairs once everyone
all the way up.
through, so we can check out our space shuttle before we're done and ready to explore. Is there a point where you guys want to be dropped off? We've got this over. Are you guys going to hang out and explore out there?
Yeah, we still have an hour after.
Phenomenal. So we're going to go to space shuttle, talk to you about that, and I'll bring you back to the flight. Cool. Cool. Okay. We're not going to go overboard though. What's your question? Let's walk.
How many men would have lived and worked on this ship at any given time?
So there would have been 3,000 people who lived on this ship during one time. Would have been 9 to 12.
So upstairs, guys.
this is it, guys. We're on top of the roof of the boat. See those jets?
Okay, guys, we're gonna come gather right here. So this is our flight deck. This is where all our planes would have been taking off and arriving. If you were a pilot and you were flying a plane off of the Intrepid, you would have taken your airplane and taken off towards Manhattan, and you would have landed by that space shuttle pavilion back here. You didn't have a lot of space to take off or land. You had about 300 feet for each. Our entire flight deck is 900 feet long for 3 jobs: to take off, to land, and to get your plane prepared. In comparison, at JFK, the shortest runway is about 10,000 feet. So we're working with a very small space. We're gonna take a walk past our planes to check out the space shuttle because the space shuttle is beyond cool. And I want to get you guys a chance to see it before we finish up our program.
And we're gonna keep walking real straight while we had to arrive with the space shuttle. But while we arrive here, we're gonna keep seeing this one on those jets, helicopters, satellites. There's a megaphones. You know, the satellites. You know, it's just we got it hears beep 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 like that. That's the over here. We're almost there. Here it is. The space shuttle Halloween. It says like Pavilion. Space shuttle Pavilion. Those are picture of sharks. This is where it is.
So we are going to head into our space shuttle pavilion. Right when we go inside, it might be a little bit dark because our eyes are going to adjust, and you're going to hear some sounds as we walk through this kind of like tunnel that's there. Has lights, not a dark tunnel, it's just a tunnel.
Has lights on.
The noise that you're going to hear is recordings from the space shuttle's first test flight, but it will be over like in about 10 seconds as we walk
10
through,
seconds?
Okay?
Is that fast?
Awesome. If there's anyone who doesn't like it, I do have headphones.
On the orange signs. This is where we into the space shuttle pavilion. I'm not sure what starts with like P. It's like I say the word like pavilion. Pavilion.
Okay, we're gonna head through this tunnel and check out our space shuttle.
I confused that word. Anyway, let's keep into the space shuttle. Just follow Rachel and just keep it focused. And hear this, and you can hear the audio radio recorded. You know, just it tells you like, and it just pardon me, that it just tell you where to go for it. For example, 45 knots. Over here, this is the Enterprise. And we have a review for it.
Awesome. I have a mom. This is a really interesting craft that we have in front of us. It is not an airplane. It is a space shuttle. Space shuttles started being built in 1972 when Enterprise had its first test flight. And that program lasted until 2011. And the space shuttles had a really interesting job because they had a lot of different purposes. They could bring astronauts up to space and help them orbit around the Earth.
That was the first man, Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, he used a space capsule, which is like even crazier because it's super tiny and weird, and like I would never want to go to space in something that's small. And they used rockets for the initial moon landing.
After that, they built the space shuttles, which were reusable.
Exactly.
They could take them, land them, then take off again and re-land them back on Earth.
Exactly. Excellent description. That was way more succinct, better than I was going to do it.
Could have an accident too.
Good job. Yeah, they also had an accident with the space shuttle. So was he the strongman? I haven't heard that before. That's so cool. So let me tell you guys a little bit about Enterprise. So Enterprise was the first space shuttle that was ever made, and it never went to space. Instead, it made sure that our astronauts were going to be safe when they eventually went to space through performing 5 different test flights, because space shuttles are different than space capsules. Because space capsules land in the ocean and someone comes and retrieves them. But space shuttles land on runways like airplanes do, which is really cool. So if you were going to space, you would want to bring a lot of things, and that's why our space shuttle is really important because it's so large. So in addition to the 150,000 pounds that our space shuttle weighs, you would fill it with about 65,000 pounds of stuff to bring to space. So it'd be astronauts and space suits and food and laboratory equipment, and it would all go in the back of our shuttle right here.
Give it a close up.
Right here in the back. I'm going to pass around. No worries, my friends. Everyone's going to see.
What's there?
Yeah, so in here right now there are satellites. Before it was used to transport cargo and people, you would use it to put satellites into space. Because it was also during the Cold War, so we were spying on a lot of people.
They
You see the satellite?
for open communication.
There it is.
For open communication. And then
In case of emergency.
Exactly. So when they went up, they also put satellites that would bounce signals so that everyone in the space shuttle and in the International Space Station could talk to NASA. Excellent point. Okay, so we're going to take a closer look at our space shuttle, but does anyone have any questions or facts that they want to share with the group?
Here's a big.
It only takes 1 minute to get in the stratosphere after liftoff. It looks like this.
Exactly. It happens really, really quickly. Okay, we're going to head up these stairs and take a closer look at the nose of our space shuttle.
Hey, just head to the stairs. Head to the stairs.
1 minute after.
Okay, we're going to gather up over here. I'm going to give you some quick facts. So I think a lot of you may actually know more than me about the space shuttles, but can anyone tell me how many astronauts you think would fit inside of here?
How many people were?
How many people? Three. So we have three.
100. What about 100?
100. Awesome. Good range. 50. Any other ideas?
60 astronauts.
60.
I'd say 65.
65. Okay, good addition. So actually we could only fit 8.
Wow.
8 astronauts inside of here.
Only 8?
All 8 of those astronauts would be sitting in this nose that's actually separated into 3 separate floors. The entire back of the space shuttle is just going to be filled with cargo and stuff that they need to bring with them.
How many are there once again?
Do we have front
And
seat?
there would be 8 at one time. Like how
8
many?
astronauts,
8
James.
astronauts on one flight.
Yes.
Up to 8. Sometimes you'd
I
have.
thought it was like 65.
I know, it's so big, you would think there would be a lot more,
Yes.
but it's actually not that many. My friends, we're going to take a step forward to let the other guests pass behind us, okay? Awesome. So you would have your 3 floors, and then if you were the pilot of this space shuttle, you would sit on the very top with the window. If you were a scientist or if you were performing a lesser task, you would, in the realm of flying it, not in the realm of science, you would be sitting on one of the bottom 2 floors. And all of our astronauts are going to get into the space shuttle through the same door, which is right on over here if you follow me.
Only 8 people to...
Only 8 people, it's crazy. I would have sworn. You're all going to go in through this little circular white door on the side.
Are we sure we're going to go into
They're going
these?
to have to wiggle in there with their spacesuits already on to
Oh,
protect themselves.
where the
during their
spacesuit?
ascent. So 8 astronauts plus the pilot. 8 astronauts with the pilot. So everyone who is flying the space shuttle had at least 2 jobs, and that would include the pilot, who'd also be like the scientist, and like a physicist, but also like the mechanical engineer. So you would have at least 6 months of training before you went. Most were 2 years, 6 months with it in case of an emergency.
Then
switched out.
we're going to wear the spacesuit
Pretty
and then we're going to go into this.
So other things that you might see right here that we're looking at right now is its name on the side. Does anyone like Star Trek? Anyone a Star Trek fan? Okay, I'm not alone in my nerd. Awesome, Star Trek's excellent. So they were actually going to name this space shuttle the Constitution after the Constitution, and then all of these Star Trek fans were like, no way, you could have named Enterprise. It's a way better name. So they named the first space shuttle Enterprise. That's the whole story. It was a public pressure, big nerd fan, which is great. You're also going to see the United States flag on it, so we know it's the United States space flight and a United States spacecraft, which is really interesting. It also has these big vehicle wings that look like airplane wings. We can't use those in space. We're still going to use rocket boosters and rocket fuel to get into space, and those wings are going to help us land safely to get back. Yeah, it glides down just like an airplane.
You know what it looks like?
Sure.
Airplane for the Concorde.
We have a Concorde outside. It does look a little bit like a Concorde is also white. It's just a little bit thinner. A lot thinner. And a little slower. Yeah, it's not. No, I was in Concorde. You can go inside of it without a cord, but it's really cool. You can go on the whole Okay. Yeah, sure. It's a great one.
Later, you can go next.
This is the end of our tour, unfortunately. Thank you so much for joining me at Intrepid today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Before I head out, does anyone have any questions? No?
When can we come back to the Intrepid to go to the Empire plane to fly into space?
I wish it still flew. Unfortunately, the space shuttle program ended in 2011, and now they're using capsules again. We've gone completely 360.
360?
360. So thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you guys had a great time.
Yes, great.
Thanks for showing us the whole tour.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming. It was great to have you. Thank you, Rachel.
Alright, enjoy the
Come
Intrepid.
find me.
I mean, like,
Oh, thank you very much.
Intrepid.
Do you guys want directions to anyone? Yeah.
And you can come back to your flight and
Oh, where should we?
we'll see you at the space. If you're good, hold on, let me just restart. Alright, anyway, and I hope you enjoy for the Intrepid.
Inside that